global property prices were up 4.6% in 2017. And the surprising thing was that we saw growth all over the world, with the majority of property markets seeing price appreciation last year. Now, the biggest factor behind that price appreciation was synchronized global growth, where we saw growth happening from the US to Japan, across all of Asia, most of Africa and the Middle East, and even into Europe, where we expected a shock from Brexit that really hasn't happened yet. And we saw the effects of easy monetary policy from the European Central Bank really boost economies throughout the Eurozone. In addition, you saw global oil prices settle in at between $50 and $60 a barrel, which meant that some of those economies that depended heavily on oil prices for their wealth generation finally saw their incomes come back in 2017. So all those factors together meant very strong appreciation for property prices throughout the world last year. But I do think that there's a threat on the horizon, and it comes from a retreat from globalization that's happening not just with the possibility of tariffs being imposed in the U.S. economy, but also from restrictions in international property markets. At the end of last year, New Zealand passed a law that was actually banning most foreign buyers from their property markets. And it's understandable why they'd want to do something like that, because there's an affordable housing crisis in many markets throughout the globe. But property buying restrictions like that are not really the long-term answer. They really don't get to the heart of the problem, which is global supply. Supply restrictions and efforts to ease those supply restrictions are a much more effective way of dealing with property supply issues in every market across the globe, rather than restrictions on who can buy that can be short-sighted and have unintended consequences.